Welcome everybody to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. Dr. Cush, we, listen, this is going to be kind of a different show. I feel like, I could get in here. I could have been thinking all day about 3 cocktails that have one crazy ingredient or one inventor or one bar that they all came from. I could do that. I've done it before. 5 years, I think I've been doing that. I had a really fun opportunity over this week. Thank you so much for those who reached out when we weren't here on Thursday. Sorry about not being here on Thursday, but I had a really fun opportunity. I got to go to one of the bar meccas of the world and go and have some drinks. So what I wanted to do is kind of just recap that. I got all the menus. These are all the menus from all the places that I went. I bought all the menus that they wouldn't just give me. I had to buy 2 of these. We don't steal menus. You ask for them and they give them to you. Basically, I got a chance to talk to bartenders. I went there, excuse me, this is a live show. I went there on a Wednesday and a Thursday night, which aren't typically busy nights in bars. I wasn't there Friday, Saturday. So I had a really great opportunity to sit down and talk to some of the country's best bartenders. I went to 2 of the top 50 bars, and I started there both nights, and I let those interactions guide me. So I wanted to go over what I found and talk to you guys about it. Because I feel like, more than anything, you guys can sit and listen to me talk about what I know, or, you know, listen to somebody else. I feel like they know stuff too. So that's what we're doing today. So let me say hello to the people that are here to basically go through a slideshow. Hopefully you guys are really into slideshows. I do have, oh, where did it go? I have pictures. Oh wait, where is it? Oh, there it is, display. Yeah, I got pictures. So we got pictures and we have lessons and we'll go from there. Let me say hello to the people. First of all, Moose. Moose is here. Good to see you, Moose. Always a pleasure, pal. Never a chore. Amy Beer is here. Hello to you with an exclamation point. I can't say the exclamation point, but just know, Amy, when I am saying hello, I'm also always putting an exclamation point at it. So just remember that. Just, you know, put that in your little pouch, and when you need an exclamation point, pull it out. Cush gave me this one, you can say. Opie the dog is here. Finally, we are populated. This used to be just a human bar. Not anymore. Now we got a dog. Stephanie Husband, winner of the 2024 Cush Tucky Derby, along with Michael, winner of the 2024 Cush Tucky Derby, are both here. That is good news. Kyle is here. I don't know why I played that one. There's no tiki going on. I didn't even go to a tiki bar. Didn't even make it to a tiki bar. There were a couple. They were not recommended by the bartender, so I didn't go. I only went to bars recommended by bartenders. Let's see what else we got here. Michael J., again, winner of the 2024 Cush Tucky Derby. Winner of the 2023 Cush Tucky Derby, DC Debbie Clark, is here in the house. Very hot. Yes, try and remain civil. I just came, like I said, from New York. I think it was 420 degrees there. Maybe it was like 85 degrees there, but with the humidity, I think that multiplies it by 6 or 7. So it was really, I did not care for it. And the subway stunk. There's a lot of stinkiness on the subway. Not anybody's fault. No way to stay unstinky when it is 425 degrees out. Tiki Court is here. Good to see you. Let me see if I just, no. Tiki Court is by herself. I don't see Captain Jack and Coke. I guess we can talk about Captain Jack and Coke behind his back. Paul Bellardo, wow, I haven't been to any of these Lower East Side bars. Well, goodness gracious, Paul, do I have some recommendations for you then? Very, very excited. My mom is here to listen to me talk about this. Our resident Gator, Mark, is here for all of you that are worried about the humidity where you're at. Mark, the floor is yours, pal. Tell us all about it. Roger G, Alani, Kyle. Crazy hot with humidity here. I prefer the dry heat of Arizona. No doubt about it. Arizona, the more I go to wet places that are hot, the more I appreciate the land of my birth, the little pueblo just east of here called Phoenix, Arizona. Okay, let me tell you what I was doing. Let's get into it. I did an event. I did work with this company. I do events. I go out and I bring this personality of mine and I run events. I was running a graffiti event in the middle of I guess it was like right between Chinatown and Little Italy. Down there, I was running this graffiti event, but I was running it sort of early mid-afternoon on Thursday. Flew in on Wednesday. Flew in at about 6 o'clock and jumped right onto the subway that took me, or the metro. What do you call it there? Subway? The subway, the MTA. Jumped on the metro, the subway, whatever you call it. Took me right into town, and I had a bar that I knew I had to hit, no matter what. Even if I had to wait in line all night, I knew I had to hit it. So I went straight to my hotel, took a shower, washed the plane stink right off of me, and I said, I have to get to Double Chicken Please. Double Chicken Please in 2023 was ranked the #2 bar in North America. I think it only lost to the Handshake Speakeasy in Mexico City, and that thing wins constantly. So this is the #2 bar. I knew if I had to stay there all night, I was going to get in there. Well, lucky for me, I did a little sweet talking, a little winky wink, and the dude let me in. I guess he liked me winking at him, so he let me right in the front of this bar. I'm going to explain it to you, and then I'm going to explain why I think it's brilliant. In the front of the bar, they have a fast bar, meaning all of their cocktails are on pours. They're all on kegs. They're all kegged cocktails. So very quick, very simple to get in there. But you know what it has? And I feel like a lot of bars that win all these awards have something. They have a theme. And the theme is crazy. The theme right here. This is for this. They don't have menus for the back bar, so I couldn't get menus for the back bar. But we can go over some of the drinks for the back bar. They had this guy. These are all based on cartoon characters. There's this thing I feel like a lot of people do. It's called the paralysis of choice, right? When you are given 1,000 options, you're like, I don't know what to do. Literally, I 1,000 I don't know 1,000 things. I don't know 1,000 things. I'm not going to be able to choose. And then I'm going to get FOMO, the fear of missing out, because I, out of those 1,000, did not pick the best one. So the bartenders did themselves a favor. The owners, the bar manager / owners did a really funny thing. They said, let's just pick something stupid and then make that sort of rein in our choices for this front bar. So we're going to do all drinks that are based on cartoon characters. They have the What's Up Doc, the Space Dog, the Side Cart. I don't know what that's from. Forbidden Donut, like The Simpsons. Pocket of Sweet, I don't get that one. The Pooh. The Grand Lotus, the Poison Apple. Poison Apple, that's kind of fun. Anyone Can Cook. Putz. Oh, I guess Anyone Can Cook is probably from Ratatouille. Putz, that's the one I would have ordered, except I moved from this bar pretty quickly. And Ogres Have Layers. The Ogres Have Layers. Isolated Proof Ramp Gin. Carrot Eau de Vie. Dolan Blanc. And then they have, it has onion brine. Well, what does that sound like? That's a martini, my friends. That is just a martini. That's all we got there. But because they put it in such a fun little bit, it was great. Okay, so you sit out there in the front. I don't know what the front is called, but the place you want to be is the coupe. The coupe is all the way to the back. You walk in, it doesn't look much different except it has hardwood all along the sides, and they have 2 bartenders. And these bartenders were so impressive. The bartenders were, they made the same 12 drinks. They probably only had 12 drinks, maybe 15 drinks, possibly 20 drinks. They only made the same, I only watched them make like 6 of them, because these are the popular drinks. And these bartenders, every single time it went out, looked exactly the same. When you got your drink, you knew what you were getting. You watched it go. I will show you some of these drinks because, again, this is a slideshow. I'm going to do my very best not to see who's leaving because I don't know if this is interesting anyway. Okay, so this one right here was called Mango Sticky Rice. Let me put myself down here in the corner so that we can, oh, there's, hi guys, it's me. Called the Mango Sticky Rice, which brings up the Coop's theme. Thanks, Kyle. Kyle's here. Anybody else? No, nobody. Okay, some people. Thank you, Kyle. Glad to have you. The theme of the Coop is mind-bogglingly brilliant. It's so good. The idea is it's meant to taste like food. So all of their cocktails are meant to taste like food. They had things like cold pizza. They had things like noodles, some sort of noodle dish. They had a Waldorf salad kind of drink. They had all kinds of stuff. Anyway, so this one is meant to taste like it is mango sticky rice. Now, why did I order mango sticky rice? First of all, I like mango sticky rice. But second, it was the only rum drink on there. Now, Espen's saying it looks a bit boring. You're right. This one looks a bit boring. Let me show you. Let me show you from a different view, though. Boop. Okay. Oh my gosh, that's not a great view either. Okay, you see all that? See all that stuff on top of there? All that stuff on top of there? Those are tonka beans. They have this incredibly interesting little shaver. Tonka beans. If you've never had a tonka bean or a tanka bean or a tunka bean, I don't know what it's a. I think it's Tanka, but they pronounce it real weird there. A tanka bean. You've never had it. It's very, very coffee forward. Not a lot going on in this drink because the real champion of this was how well they were able to make it taste like it was mango sticky rice. I'm going to bring this down. Well, do I have another picture? Let's see if I have one more picture here. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's an alligator. First of all, there's an alligator. That has nothing to do with the bar. The bar decor was okay. It was okay. There were funny little posters on there. I didn't find myself like lost in finding myself lost. Like, you know, you walk into a tiki bar, it's so amazing. You get lost in what it is. I didn't find that in here. So as far as decor, it's going to lose a couple points. I got to take a point or two off of it. Nothing wrong with it. It looked kind of like a bar. And I think that is a fine thing for a bar to look like. But for the most part, it just kind of looked like a bar. What I learned from this bar more than anything is that simplicity is king. I go to a lot of bars. A lot of bars have 50,000 ingredients in a cocktail. A lot of bars are, you order a like a espresso martini. They call them, in LA, we call them touches. In New York, I found out, this is a fun little thing. They call them pulls. A touch is when you touch a bottle. Any bottle you have to touch, that's going to slow you down. If you got to touch 2 bottles, that's going to take twice as much time as touching 1 bottle. You can do it at the same time, I guess. Very few touches, because they did so much prep work. There was so much. I sat and talked to this guy, Tim was his name, Tim the bartender, about just about every drink he made. He sat and listened to me. He answered my questions. He had fun insights. I cut him off when I knew the answer, which, that's a rude thing to do, but I wanted to show my bona fides too. He walked me through the exact proportions on how to make the drink called the cold pizza. Now, I'm not going to walk you guys through that. I feel like that's an interesting secret or whatnot. I don't want to give it away until they tell me I can. But one of the ingredients in there is burnt toast. Burnt toast. I looked at that and I said, "What are you doing? How are you doing that?" He said, "Cush." He says to me, "Cush, we literally take bread, we put it in the oven at like 450 degrees for 20 minutes, and we just burn the crap out of this toast. And then we shove it into some tequila. All of that flavor gets pulled out into the tequila, and there we are." However, he says to me, it's kind of a money suck there. Why? Well, because bread, of course, is going to absorb tequila. He says they lose about 30% of all their tequila that they're infusing this into right into the bread. The bread is absolutely just sucking up all of this tequila. So I asked him if, have they tried a centrifuge? He said they had tried a centrifuge. They had. However, he didn't really have an answer. He said, I don't know why we don't use a centrifuge. I said, you should use a centrifuge. I feel like that'll get all that bread out there. I think he said that the taste, it pulled too much of the taste out. So I thought that was interesting. A really, really fun time at a bar. Now, then I had another drink. I said this at all the bars, unless I was sent there specifically for a drink. And I was sent to a couple bars specifically for a drink. I said, what drink do I need to have here? He said, listen, they're all real good, but there's one that I think everybody loves the most. And that, there's an alligator. Pretty terrifying. Should have turned me right off. Oh, that's Tim right there. That's Timbo. I didn't get his whole face, I guess. He said, you have to try the one that everybody likes the most is this one. The key lime pie. Now, that on top of there is just some lime, house-made lime flavored bitters. It is whipped completely. Tim is also scared of the alligators. Kyle is suggesting it would be a tough place to work if you're afraid of alligators. There were a couple of them in there. This right up here is key lime pie. It is just a little stencil, and they take and spray this. Now, how do they get that spray on there? And it's something that I have to remember. It was such a cool little trick. Before he shook this, so this is more or less this. Oh, I got to go this way. It's so weird because it's over there for me, but it's over here for you guys. This right up here, this key lime pie, is more or less a Ramos gin fizz. It's 100%, or maybe 80% made before the shift opens. So they make this whole thing so you don't see a bartender cracking an egg. You don't see them adding the cream. He grabs a bottle, that's the key lime pie bottle, pours it in, and then he takes a coffee whipper or a latte whipper. Like, it looks like a little blender. Puts it in there for about a minute. It's way better than shaking for a minute. Just puts it in there. And by the end, he throws some ice in there, gives it another shake, pours it out, and it is a perfect amount of foam right on top. So perfect, in fact, that I drank that entire drink, and you're going to find that that is absolutely a thing that happened to me at all these bars. I drank the entire drinks. I drank the entire drink, and at the bottom of the thing was that key lime pie of foam still sitting on top. And then I almost ate it like it was a marshmallow. It was freaking delicious. Let me bring this down again. Live show, no switcher. There we go. Oh, there's two of me. Who's that guy? Okay. So anyway, Double Chicken Please won many awards. I think it was the last time I think maybe this year it's number 19 or something, way high up there. It's still one of North America's best bars, one of the world's best bars. And I think that what they do best is they work on flavor, they work on simplicity of cocktails. How do we do this as home bartenders? Well, I will tell you. We reuse ingredients. So we take a little bit of time, right? We find something that we like. We find that key lime pie mixture. Man, this key lime pie tastes so good. I love the way that I've made this. It'll last in my refrigerator for a week. Well, you know what you have then? You have a whole week to try that in other things. Make a daiquiri, make it with key lime pie mixture. Make a New York sour, make it with the pie mixture. You want to find ways to, if you spend time on an ingredient, reuse it. Find another place that it goes. That way, you have the impetus, you have the reason to try and create brand new cocktails. A really kind of a spectacular little place, and I will certainly be going back. So this is what happens there. Oh, should I give it a rating? Maybe I'll give it a rating. Let's say 10 out of 10 is an impossible task to reach, right? I mean, I feel like if you find that 10 out of 10 bar, that's where you move. You can't stay in your town now that once you've seen Jackie Treehorn, you can't go back to Wisconsin, basically. So I don't think any of these bars are going to get a 10 out of 10. I would say, though, that Double Chicken Please, other than just the kind of plain decor that reminded me more of a sushi restaurant than it did of a world-class bar, I would give it a 9 out of 10. I would say that this is as close to a perfect bar as you can get. If they made it just a little more immersive, I feel like we would have a real good spot. So congratulations to Double Chicken Please. They did great. Shouldn't you be drinking while you're talking about the... Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, I did say I was going to make a drink. Okay, let's make a Manhattan. Should we make a Manhattan? Since we were just in Manhattan, I will make a Manhattan. We'll get this out here. Oh, forgot that I'm out of ice, so we have to do one of these guys. So why don't I do this while we discuss the next bar, and then after the next bar, I will talk about what we're up to. So we're just going to take a little ice thing here. There's going to be some cracks. I'm not going to temper it. We'll just let that go. Cool. Okay. Put this back in because I don't think I'll need it. Okay, the next bar I went to was a complete and utter accident. Had no idea what it was, had no idea that it was even there. I was talking to Tim and I said, hey buddy, I'm trying to do this bar tour. Where do I go? What's the place? And without hesitation, he said, Bar Contra. I said, I have literally never, ever heard of Bar Contra. It's this one. And I said, well, Tim, I said to him, tell me about it. He said, it's Dave Arnold's new bar. Dave freaking Arnold's new bar. Which one is Dave Arnold, you ask? Dave Arnold wrote my very favorite book on bartending, Liquid Intelligence. He is the absolute mad scientist of bartenders. He is the guy. This is the man. So, Tim took a little break, quick break, went and texted somebody, and he said, listen, man, you're going to go over there. You're going to talk to my buddy David, all right? They're going to let you in. I don't know if they're open tonight, but they're going to let you in, all right? So I literally, like a cartoon chicken, to keep up with the thing, literally ran out of that bar and left a Cush-sized hole in the front because I was so excited to get to Bar Contra. Now, I had no idea what I was going to find when I got to Bar Contra. Oh, you guys probably can't read that. They had, from Dave Arnold himself's book, they had things like the Juicy Tonic. The Juicy Tonic. It sounds boring, all right? Again, simplicity. Incredible simplicity. It is gin, grapefruit, quinine, and lime. That's it. That's what it is. All right, well, you'd say, okay, that sounds like a gin and juice and a gin and tonic mixed together. Yes. It's exactly what it is. Perfect description. Couldn't have described it better. However, they use, and I always forget what this is. It's not nitrous oxide. What's the stuff that really, that gets really cold? Somebody will tell me. That like liquid that gets really cold. You put stuff in it and it like freezes automatically. I think the Terminator put his hand into some one time and his hand came out and it shattered. That stuff. They use that to, listen to this, chill the glasses. Let me show you. I have proof. Let's get past double chicken, please. There we go. Oh, let's bring me up real quick. Otherwise, it's, I don't know what that means. Liquid nitrogen. Liquid nitrogen, says Bon Bon. Bon Bon is correct. Ding, 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 ding. 1 second. There we go. All right, let's get over to there. Okay, so this is it. So this right here, this is my buddy now. We're Facebook friends. This is Dave. Dave. David, I believe he wants to be called, but I'm calling him Dave. That is just a big old jar of liquid nitrogen. He is he's chilling this glass, but what is he doing? What is he chilling the glass? What is he keeping out of the glass when he chills it? He is keeping any kind of dilution out of it. Dave Arnold and this gentleman were so this is Dave's head bartender. This guy. They sit around and they do R&D, and Dave for forever has worried about dilution. The way that some of us worry about like waking up naked in class, not having done the having done the homework, he worries about over diluting cocktails. So he takes this liquid nitrogen, he pours it into this glass, they do this swirl, and then they throw it on the back bar. And what happens when it goes on the back bar? A huge ploof of smoke just dissipates into the air, and now you have a super clean cold glass, completely cold all the way through, as if it had been a freezer for years. Then out of a single bottle, one bottle, he pulls out the bottle of the juicy tonic, and he pours it in that glass. It's kind of clear, not much to it. Let's see if I have a picture of it. I think I do. Here, look at all that stuff. Okay, well, gosh, it's tough to see. This is the juicy tonic. I wanted to get Bar Contra in there, but you notice, I think you guys can see, I'm pretty much alone in here. It's kind of a lonely little night for me in this bar, so I got to chat with the head bartender for quite some time. But this is it right here. It isn't as our good friend. One second, where'd he go? Moose earlier said, "Oh, looks boring." It does. It looks boring. It looks boring. It's just kind of a clear liquid inside of a little snifter, or inside of a little like a wine glass kind of thing. It was perhaps the greatest gin cocktail I have ever had on Earth. Dave Arnold, what did he do? He took the time beforehand. He took his prep hours. He went in there hours, maybe days before the bar opened, and he created a quinine syrup. Instead of using tonic that you can buy at a store, that's not the type of quinine he wants. He wants it to have all of that good quinine in it. So he gets this medical grade quinine. I think he's one of the only people on earth that isn't a doctor that's able to have quinine just like hanging around on him. He makes that. He gets the grapefruit, which he clarifies, the lime juice, which he clarifies, and then picks the gin that works so well with all of those flavors, puts them in a bottle, puts them in a freezer, has the bartenders take them out moments before, and he pours it out. It is mostly a gin and tonic. I don't want to skip too far ahead. Did I take another picture in here? Oh yeah, okay. So let's get to the next cocktail then. What is that? That has everything to do with preparation. Bars that win big awards, I am finding, have it's not that their bartenders are the greatest, that they can take 500 orders and spit them all out. No bartender should be able to do that. Bartenders need to be the face, the personality, and then they can pour the drinks correctly, no mistakes. So all preparation. Another great thing for us to remember. This is what we would call a fridge cocktail or a freezer cocktail. A huge thing to have in your home bar is to have a freezer cocktail. Something that at any moment somebody says, "Hey, I want a cocktail," and what do you like? You know, I love everybody that lives in my house. I love them. Sometimes I'm sitting down and somebody says, "Hey, I really want a cocktail." Well, that means that I got to spring up and make a cocktail. All right, well, sometimes I don't want to make a cocktail. Okay. Most of the time I do, but sometimes I don't. What is this then? This is a freezer cocktail. Something that you made before. You've added the right amount of water. You've added the right amount of all the other liquids. You've added the right amount of everything, and you throw it in the freezer. At a moment's notice, you can jump right out of your chair like a freaking superhero, fly to the kitchen, pull it out of the freezer, pour it over a little ice, or if it's cold enough, you don't even need ice. You don't even freaking need ice. You don't even need to have anything. It's a freezer cocktail. That's what this is. One of the greatest bits of a freezer cocktail that I've ever seen. The one that you're looking at right now. I'm just gonna find it real quick because I want to go over exactly what's in it. This is a cocktail that I've never had, but have been looking to have this cocktail for a long, long time. Anybody know what cocktail this is? Anybody else that's read this book? Anybody want to take a real quick guess at it? I'm in the B section, if that's helping. There we go, 260. It's on page 260 of this book. 260. Here we go. This is called a Justino. This is specifically the Bananas Justino. Let me tell you how he makes this and why I have never made it. I'm gonna read this through, tell you why I've never made it. 3 peeled ripe bananas, 250 grams. 750 milliliters of liquid. It's going to be a rum. Works well with aged rums, not rums that have caramel color added. The Justino process strips it out. You can also use bourbon, Hendrick's gin. Remember that the bananas must be ripe, brown, not black. If they are not ripe, the starch in them will create a cloudy drink with a starchy taste. This liquor is fantastic. Poured over rock and served with a wedge of lime and a pinch of salt. The only thing that these guys added to this drink was just a little bit of saline solution. They put it right there on the bottom, and they poured this stuff right over on top. For a real treat, keep the lime, but pour the Justino over a large ice cube made of high-quality coconut water that floats. Okay, let me just get a... Oh, so this is the Justino. Look at all these steps. You didn't even want to write them out. You just wanted to show us pictures. You're going to throw these guys in here. You're going to get all that liquid. You're going to blend it all up. You're going to put it into a, this is I just happen to know what this is. I used to have one exactly like it. Oh, where did I go? Here. This is a Juan, Jouan centrifuge. And then you centrifuge the crap out of it after you've added all this stuff to it. And now you have another amazing freezer cocktail. Alcohol and cold are two amazing drinks that, amazing things. Alcohol and cold. Cold is not a drink, I don't think. Cold and alcohol are two great preservatives. Throw them in their freezer and you're ready to go. I didn't watch these guys at this bar shake a single drink. They had done all of their shaking. They had done all of their dilution the day before. You come in and you're ready to go and pour out this drink. My goodness, it was freaking delicious. All right. We're almost done with this drink. Does your eyes hurt? Jen, what when I was geeking out in bars, Amazon Prime Day? Your eyes hurt from all the, yes. Listen, this is a good point. It is a good point. I am passionate about this, and I don't think anybody else is. I really feel like I may be. But the cool thing is all these New York bartenders, they all knew. All right. So I went to one last bar at the end of that night. Let's see if I can bring up a drink from that one. Not a place I would recommend. Yeah, there it is. I went to a place called Meet the Johnsons. Welcome to the Johnsons. The UF Mark is asking, how many Spinzalls do they have running? They don't have a Spinzall. Mark, I happen to know that they instead have these Jouan, Jouan. They are industrial sized centrifuges. So you can put up to like 1.5 liters into each of them, and it's into each like little balanced out thing. Spin those out, and it all works. I have worked with them. I worked with one in a bar called the Queensberry until one of my barbacks was using it and broke it. And that thing, I think it costs about $8,000, something like that. So we never had a centrifuge ever again. Well, I guess we did get a Spinzall at one point, but at that point we were kind of lost. But we were doing a lot of cocktail prep beforehand, and I did find that that the cocktail prep was always good. Okay, so I was sent over to this place called Welcome to the Johnsons, and for $12, I could get what one bartender described, and I will have to disagree with them, as the best frozen painkiller in New York. Now, I didn't try any other frozen painkillers in New York. I didn't have time. I wasn't looking for one. You walk into sorry, let me give those guys spectacular, wonderful hospitality, apparently great food. I was only drinking that night. I was only drinking the whole time, basically. I would give Bar Contra probably an 8.75, an 8.75. I know that the innovation is there. For me, the innovation is there. I geeked out more at this bar than I did at Double Chicken Please, but because most of the stuff that I tried there was stuff that was from Dave Arnold's book, there was not a lot of surprise there. So I'm just taking a point off there. It was a New York bar. It had that very New York red vibe. I didn't like it quite as much as I liked Double Chicken Please. So I just got to drop it a quarter point. But right there, I think maybe had I gone deeper into the menu, this might be a me thing. Had I gone deeper in the menu, it would have been better. I walked into Welcome to the Johnsons, and I was in there with people that could have been my children. I really, I didn't realize until this week that I have gotten too old for bars. I do feel like at this point, I'm not as lithe as I used to be. I can't certainly drink as much as I did, and I don't really like drinking just to drink. That's just not a thing that I like to do. Most of these kids in here were drinking just to drink. A lot of PBR going out. I think we were watching Harry and the Hendersons on a tiny little TV. All their refrigeration was actual kitchen refrigerators, and they had all their stuff there. Pool table in the back. It smelled like a bar. In fact, if I smell, I didn't take a menu from there. It smelled like a bar. And I was not a big fan of the whole thing. I thought that the painkiller was a fine painkiller, and for $12 in New York, that's basically free. I had one there, and then I went to go have some pizza at Prince Street Pizza. Anyway, for Welcome to the Johnsons, I will give that a tough to compare it to the other bars. So I will instead compare it to other dive bars, which I also love. Frank and Hank's, one of my favorite bars of all time in Los Angeles, is one of the greatest dive bars of all time. I'm going to give it a 6 in dive bar land. It was dirty, not cluttered. I don't mind a dive bar being cluttered. This one was a little dirty. The bartender was wasted. I don't mind when they're drunk. I love a drunk bartender. One of my favorite types of bartenders, a drunk bartender. This guy was wasted. Had a hard time sort of remembering where everything was going. And wasn't really interested in service. Just wasn't like a service bar. Just one bartender. Unfortunately, I was only there for one night, so that's all I could get. Okay, this is ready. So I'm gonna give that a 6 out of a possible 10 for dive bars. Not if I got to compare it to the other bars, it's gonna be like a 1 or a 2. But as far as jeez Louise, not ice tongs. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10 in the dive bar scale, or 6 out of 10 in the dive bar scale. Not the worst dive bar I've ever been to. Still a little expensive for a dive bar, I think. I think the cans of PBR were $8, which seems like too much. We're going to go ahead and make a Manhattan, since we're talking about the Lower East Side of Manhattan. We're going to go ahead and put in 2 full ounces of bourbon right there. And we are going to pray that we remember to bring in... Oh, yeah, we did. A little sweet verm. There we go. A little sweet verm has fused itself. We're going to put in 1 full ounce of sweet vermouth. This is Carpano Antiqua. 2 big dashes of some Angostura bitters. We need to refill the Ango. There we go, and we will give this a stir. Bonbon has given me Anaheim recommendations for tiki bars. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the one you have to do is, of course, strong water. That's the #1 bar. Obviously, Trader Sam's is great too, but the one Anaheim bar that you should not leave Anaheim ever. If I ever have to drive like to San Diego, on my way back, I have to stop at see Rob at. Oh, anyway, we'll put a cherry in it later. This is Manhattan. Cheers to you guys. Let's get to the rest of the bars, because I did not think the show was going to go more than 12 minutes, and now we are at 41 minutes. Excellent. Okay. So I went home, went back to my hotel room. This is not exactly true. I went back to my hotel. On the top of my hotel was a bar called Mr. Purple. Mr. Purple. It's a hotel bar. I think I ordered a beer and I looked at the Manhattan skyline. As far as clubs go in New York, I'll give it a 7. It's probably a fine club. Very beautiful people, very well dressed. The bartenders, wouldn't know a Manhattan from a martini, but that's not what they're there for. They're there to make the 5 things on the drink and watch all the gorgeous people walk around. I instead was very interested in buildings. I think I might be on some scale somewhere, some spectrum somewhere, because I was really interested in the buildings. Okay, went to sleep, woke up, went to go do my event. My event ended and I was sweaty. Went back home, took a shower. I went and had dinner at a place called Trey Italian restaurant. It was right next to my hotel. And I said, what's the bar I have to try around here? And they said, without a doubt, nobody is saying anything different, you have to go to Superbueno. Superbueno. This is not one that I was super familiar with. Why? I guess I wasn't watching the numbers at the time. This, in 2023 or 2024, was the #2 bar. Same as Double Chicken. Different years. One was 22, one was 23. Superbueno. I thought, Superbueno? Never even heard of it. Don't even know anything about it. It's a tequila bar. I thought, that's crazy. A tequila bar? A tequila bar is going to make #2 in North America? They do, they have, let's see, mezcal, tequila. They have one called vodka y soda, guava vodka, pasilla, and soda. That's the only vodka one on there. Then they have mezcal. They have corn whiskey, so I guess not bourbon. They have blanco tequila, and they have charanda. I don't even know what that is. All right. That's what they got. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drinks. That's it. The rest of this is all food. It's all food over here. These 8 drinks. Apparently they had a seasonal menu. Couldn't find a word about it. Nobody would talk to me about the seasonal menu. I found one seasonal cocktail in here called the Breakfast Margarita. Well, that's the one I tried. Let me tell you about it. It had Blanco Tequila, Saint Germain, Mole Amarillo, marmalade, lime, and salt. That's a margarita, baby. That's literally just a margarita. When they served it to me with this little wooden spoon. They put the little wooden spoon on the thing, and it had a little marmalade in it. That's it. Let's see if I have a picture. I know I have a picture. Let's get out of there. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. Ah, Superbueno. This right here is Superbueno. This is my drink right here. That's a little wooden spoon. Is that a guy? No, that's not a guy. That's not my bartender. This is the little wooden spoon. It has a little salt on the rim. There is literally nothing crazy about this cocktail. It was a pretty, sorry, we gotta skip back one because that's the next drink I had. It was a pretty standard, not a lot going on margarita. It tasted, Kyle, you have a wooden spoon. Kyle, you have like 4 wooden spoons. Look in the salt pig. You have a wooden spoon in there. So it was that kind of wooden spoon. Kyle making me buy him all this stuff. When I saw the menu, which they did sell me, kind of annoying. I mean, it's kind of a nice menu, but there's just not much in here. I thought, there's no way. There's no possible way on earth that this is the best bar in New York at this current time. The best bar in America, or at least was Superbueno. kind of dark, had these red things, until I sat there for a minute. I sat and I watched and I observed and I saw what was going on. And I'm telling you, these bartenders were having the time of their life. Not wasted, having a shot or two. I think they maybe had one shot as a team while I was there. Not drunk, just having fun. So much fun, and especially, and I think I got a video of it. One second. When they did this little move. Oh, that's the next drink I had. Well, you guys really want to see the move, though. I didn't get a video? Oh, dang, I didn't get a video. Shoot. Okay. Well, anyway, these little guys, these little red things, every once in a while, what they would do is they would just push them. Just push those little red things, and they would swing, and suddenly the bar would like lose their mind. Oh my gosh, it's red things flying through the air. I love it so much. Yeah, they were losing their minds. It was awesome. Such a small move, such a teeny tiny thing. Whoever designed that bar put those little red things, and they told the bartenders to push them every 5 minutes or so. And every 5 minutes, in between every song, people lost their mind. For some reason, my margarita tasted better after that. For some reason, I was looking to stay for a little bit longer. I just watched them have the most fun. And then I thought, gosh, I wonder what it is. And I asked them. I asked my bartender, I said, why do you guys think you were one of the best bars? He goes, amigo. He's called me amigo, which that honestly exploded my heart. I was so excited. Amigo, this is the only bar with a soul in New York. And I thought, gosh darn it, you're right. Look at the soul going on in here. Look at how much fun you guys are having. Look at it. Look at you. Look at you. And I did, and I stared at them until they eventually asked me to go. But not before I ordered a second drink. Like I said, always, I always order whatever the bartender then recommends. I don't say make me something. I say I will take whatever is on your menu that you recommend. And he made me this little handsome fella right there. This guy. It was called the Green Mango Martini. Blanco tequila, mango distillate, sauternes, which is kind of like a wine. Green mango, honey, and chili oil. He didn't pre-batch it. He sat and made it. 5 touches. Was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touches? He sat and made it. He shook the crap out of it. I heard it ringing through the bar. I watched the little things go back and forth, and I was in absolute heaven. I was having so much fun. Now, I, as an Angelino, as a Los Angeles native, basically, I am a little picky about my Mexican food and about my Mexican drinks. We do Mexican drinks better than almost anywhere on earth. I'm telling you, this bar nailed it. I think that having a Mexican-themed bar in New York is why these guys do so well. They find the most fun bartenders, and they make a really classic margarita, and they make it 500 times a night, and they push those little balls, and they sing. And then this is the best part. They didn't know me. I'd asked them like 3 questions. It was a loud bar. And by the end, I said, all right, can I have my bill? I may have said la cuenta. Can I have la cuenta? Which I think is the Spanish way to say it, not the Mexican way to say, can I have my bill? And he goes, yes, amigo, would you like to take a shot with me? Me? Yes, I would like that. And he poured us all, me and the other single dude sitting next to me at this bar, poured us both a shot. We had a shot of mezcal, and it made my whole world glow. They pushed those little things again. I bought my menu, and I walked out thinking, you know what? I may have been a little harsh when I walked into that bar. I thought it looks like any other kind of small Mexican bar that I can go to in Los Angeles. The soul that they threw in there, the bartenders that they have, the drinks that are not spectacular. They're not mind-boggling like I felt like the Bananas Justino was, but I feel like they were so well done. Nothing crazy, just well done. They got the classics, and that's all you want. Not everybody's a cocktail nerd. Sometimes you just want a classic, and they nailed it. and they nailed it, and they made me feel like I was home, and they made me feel like I was a friend, and I feel like they deserve everything going their way. I'm giving them also a 9. I do believe that they have one of the best bars going. All right. At this point, I was also going through a bit of a decision paralysis, choice paralysis. So I was asking bartenders what I think the best blank in the martini, or what the best blank in the Lower East Side was. What's the best dancing bar? What's the best this bar? What's the best this bar? And I finally said, they were like, oh, you know, there's this, and this, and this, and this. I said, okay, what's the best place to get a martini? And everybody, to a T, said you have to go, oh, you can't see that, to Tigre. Tigre. It says T, trust me, it's, oh, let me see if I can get that. Yeah, Tigre. Tigre. You got to go. It's the martini bar. I said, oh, crap. I got to go to a martini bar. So I left Superbueno, and I went over to Tigre. And this is their whole menu. This is it. They have 2 cocktails up here. They have their martinis, and the only martini that they do is by ratio. 4-1, 8-1, 12-1, 16-1, or 1-0. So do you just want gin in your cocktail? They don't even tell you what it's made of. They don't even tell you what you can have a vodka, you can have a gin, you can have whatever you want to. But yeah, 4-1. Of course, I like a 2-1. I said I like a 2-1, and she said, well, you got to try this. So she said you got to order the perfect martini. It's called perfect martini. Now, normally, perfect martini is going to be a martini that is split half dry, half sweet vermouth. That's not what this one is. This is a pre-batched martini. Okay, I said, another pre-batch. Let's see if we can keep the streak alive. Absolutely kept the streak alive. There's no reason for bars like this that are doing volume like they're doing to have their martini, to do their martinis anything but pre-made. So I just want to show you a little bit about Tigre. Let's get past all these. Let's see all the. Okay, so this is Tigre. Oh, dang. Oh, I had a video, but I guess they don't. The videos don't come up in this whole thing. Anyway, this is the gin that they use. It's called Thomas Dakin. It is it's really big and herbally. It definitely tastes like a gin. They're not trying to hide the gin into a vodka. They just sort of nail it. They do the best martini. It is in a, when you go there, the only reason that you know it's there is because you looked up the address and there is a big bouncer sitting outside, takes your name, brings you in through this really beautiful dark hallway. There are booths to the side where they can pass drinks through, and you go into this really lovely golden bar, and you sit right at that golden bar, and they made, in my opinion, one of the greatest martinis I've ever had. They chose their ingredients well. They were absolutely able to combine those ingredients. They were able to get it to me fairly quickly. Even though it was a little busy in there, they were able to give it to me quickly. And the bartender sat and chatted with me. I had a very long conversation with my bartender that night. She was very knowledgeable about what was going on. She was able to give me the difference between this gin and this gin. Now, I don't know if she knows everything about gin. I know she knows everything about the gins she had on her back bar. So had I asked for anything else, my goodness, it would have been there. She also then let me try a little bit of the cigarette too. They only have 2 cocktails. 2 cocktails on the whole bar. Cigarette too. That is with Truman vodka, Banca Nora Silvestre, don't know what that is, Sunchoke, and Black Cardamom. That was good. It was a lot. It was a lot. And I was sort of running out of energy to be drinking. Now this is what's fun about this place. Look at all this extra stuff. These are all the liqueurs. These are all of their herbs, their bitters, their calvados, cognac. They just have a lot of stuff. They just don't have a lot of cocktails. I did sit and watch her make a number of great drinks, though. I think she made an airmail a couple times. I think she made a Hemingway daiquiri a couple times. Clearly a bartender that knows what they're doing. As far as martini bar, 9. As far as just a bar to go to, yes, it's beautiful walking in. Yes, there's a great area. Martini, I would give it a 9.5. I think it was a perfect martini bar. For a regular bar, I'm gonna go with a 8. I think it's an 8. I think it's it was mind-boggling the whole time. I remembered that I was in a bar, and that's sometimes you don't want to remember that you're in a bar. You want to think that you're somewhere out there drinking, having an experience. I would give Tigre an 8. But if you want a martini in New York City, I can't imagine that there's a better place than Tigre. So if you're looking for one thing. Okay, last place. At the end of the night, yes, there we go. See, Roger, you got it. Superbueno seems to have captured the one thing missing from some of the craft cocktail bars and craft cocktail tiki bars. Fun. That's exactly what it was. Those bartenders were having fun. I felt like the people at Tigre were very serious. I felt like the people at Double Chicken Please, yeah, they were having some fun, but they were serious bartenders that made the same thing over and over, and it was perfect. So they went for perfection, and they nailed that. I feel like Bar Contra, very serious bartenders. Didn't, not a lot of joking, not a lot of, whatever. They made great drinks, pre-made a lot of drinks, but they made them. The thing that Superbueno brought that I feel like a lot of places just don't is fun. So that is where Superbueno catches up. Okay, speaking of fun, I went to the last place. I started asking people, what is the best place in New York City to get a beer? Just a beer. All I want is a beer. They said, without a doubt, Swift. This is called Swift Hibernation. Oh, sorry. Hibernian bar. I thought it was hibernation for a while. Swift Hibernian bar. I guess it's named after old Tommy Swift. They said all you got to do is walk in and say you want the pint. The pint will be Guinness. All they did was pour a pint. But it was a well done pint. They did it in 2 bits. And the atmosphere was like a very real Irish bar. I've never been to an Irish bar. I've been to Irish bars in every place but Ireland. But it felt the dancing and the singing, and the bartenders would raise their glasses and do toasts, and it was very much community. It felt very much like a public house. Yes, the Guinness is probably about the same as everywhere else. I mean, obviously, if you're going to have Guinness, you want to get a nitrogen thing in there. A lot of bars aren't able to get nitrogen. If their owners have ever had any trouble with the law, you can't get any nitrogen because you make nitrous oxide balloons and suddenly you're a drug dealer. I feel like Swift, also in the Lower East Side, just a little bit further north of where Superbueno was a spectacular drink. Now, I didn't try a single one of their cocktails. Everybody said, if you're going to go there, you have to get the pint. And so I got the pint. And I will say, after a night of drinking everywhere else, that the pint of beer was a perfect way to end my little New York trip. As far as Irish bars go, I would give it an 8.5, maybe an 8. As far as normal bars go, feels like a normal bar. Feels like a big bar for New York, especially. I think there were 2 stories in there. Easy to get a place on a Thursday night. And I made friends as I was sitting there. I had multiple locals come up to me and ask me what I'm doing, and what are you up to, and this and that. And so I made friends, and it just felt like a great atmosphere. I give it an 8.5. I would say that it is just as far as going out, getting a beer with a bunch of people, or as I did, just by myself. Couldn't have asked for a better place. So those are the 6 bars that I traveled to this week. I really feel like if you are heading out to New York, the best thing that you can do is ask other bartenders where to go to drink. There's something about the New York bar scene. In the LA bar scene, I knew bartenders, absolutely. But because you all work on the same night, you don't, everybody closes at 2. So you don't really get to go to other people's bars all that often. In New York, it's a little different because some of them are open till 4. They have all, some of them will close at 1. Go to the bar. to the other one. So they all get to see how all of these bars work. For some reason, the New York bartender scene seems to be, despite the fact that it is one of the most anonymous cities you can be in, it seems like they all know each other and they will point you in the right direction. How close was Amore Amargo to all these places? I walked past Amore Amargo 3 or 4 times. It's right there. I didn't go in because I've been there before. I wanted to try all new places this time. And I think I did it. Boy, I really did talk for an hour about that. That can't have been interesting. Anyway, I'm glad that you guys came with me on that. I didn't have any other ideas. I was still sort of, my head was in my baseball cap in the clouds for just missing that New York bar scene. So thank you guys for watching my slideshow, and we'll be back on Tuesday with more tiki content where we'll make drinks. I promise we're not going to do a lot of these. We're like, hey, I went to a city and I drank at their bars. But highly recommend, if you are in New York at all, if you ever find yourself on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, I highly recommend, in one night you can do all of these. These are the 3 that I recommend. Sorry. Start off Double Chicken. Get your Double Chicken and get some food at Double Chicken. Get like some chicken with it. They do like little chicken poppers. Get some chicken poppers and talk to the bartenders. Definitely sit in the coupe. Don't sit in the front. The front seemed fine, but definitely sit in the coupe. Then head over to Superbueno. Have a little bit of tapache, or have something, what's that stuff? Ceviche. Have some ceviche there. They had this amazing little ceviche. Order a couple drinks. Talk to the bartenders. They are clearly allowed to give out shots there. So talk to them, drink with your bartenders, and whenever those red lights start going, hoop it up. Highly recommend then ending your night at the Tigre. The teeny tiny little door on a teeny tiny little street. You'll only know it because you know the address, and you'll see the wall there plastered with stickers, and you'll see a big dude standing out there checking IDs. Highly recommend, as far as a Lower East Side cocktail experience. These are the new big dogs in the city. Highly recommend it, and I will be going back to all of those one day before. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, listen, this year could get real weird. So before that all happens, hashtag Tapache. Yes. Thank you very much, DCW Clark. Okay, that's what I got for you guys. We're going to be back here on Tuesday night, where we will be back to making drinks. It's not just going to be me talking and drinking a classic, but I appreciate you guys. Remember, these classes will always remain free, but if you can't help out, there's a couple ways you can do it. I got a couple ways, and I'll tell you those couple ways. 3 ways, as a matter of fact. One way, I have a Patreon. Patreon keeps the bar alive. We, rum is expensive. It turns out, I didn't know how expensive rum was. I was drinking for free forever. Rum is expensive, so your patronage helps me keep the bar in rum. If you don't want to do that, I also have a PayPal and a Venmo. Thank you to everybody that has donated recently for the Tiki or for the Tiki Oasis experience. That is an expensive trip for us. It's good for the bar. It's good for me to get out there and meet everybody. But again, I run a bar that has no customers. That's what I do for a job. Other than that, I travel to New York to do events. So all of your patronage there really helps, and I appreciate everybody that's donated. If you want to help out there, you can go to Venmo or to PayPal and help financially out there. If you can't help financially, totally get it. These are rough times. Tell your friends about the show. If you like the show, just be one of the bartenders. Hey, you like a bar you can go to where they don't give you drinks, but you get to hear the bartender talk the whole time? Hey, I got a bar for you. It's called Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. Show them the other way. And if you can't do any of those things, the best thing you can do is show up. We do classes here Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, where we break down drinks. We talk about drinks. But more than anything, and I think this is the most important thing that we do, we are a community. We are a lovely community. I constantly say that I have the nicest community online. So that is one of my bragging points. That is one of the things I'm most proud of. So thank you everybody for showing up here Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And if we can't do it Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, we most likely will do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Sunday. That's what I got for you guys. Until next time, what do we always say?
Goodbye.
Oh, so I found out how to make this thing work all the time. So I'm very excited about it.
Oh, hot, 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 hot. Hot, 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 hot.
What do we really always say, though?
Are you Dr. Jinga Janga?
We'll find him one day. Until then, guys, bye.